What is good, everybody? What is good? Hopefully everyone can hear me loud and clear. I hope so. We are ready to do some swordsman testing and combos and stuff like that. We also got the ability, one of my buddies on Discord sent me a few dueling book replays in the Discord, and we're just going to look at them. I actually pretty excited to give it a try. Yo, guys, what do you guys think of the new Ashen Dark Souls archetype that's getting ready to come out? Hopefully it's kind of crazy. Well, thank you, Force. Thank you. There we go. Sweet, my man, sweet. It's just been a hot minute since we streamed, so you know how technology goes, man. You don't stream, you don't open or run a function for a while. Sometimes like it resets or goes back to stuff. So awesome, you guys are hearing me. Also apologize, I have a heater going because it's cold here where I'm at, so hopefully you guys don't hear that. But we got ourselves a cup of coffee. We got ourselves some G Fuel to hopefully make it through. I think it's G Fuel, Gamer Subs, whatever it is. Hopefully make it through all this stuff. I'm getting the Ashen, but or not, bro. Me too. Like if you guys have actually like seen like any of my old like references, my old like videos. Sometimes I like to do it. Like I'm a huge Dark Souls fan, huge Elden Ring fan. In fact, like my most famous story with Elden Ring is I started playing it at 9 p.m. at night, and I was fighting his name's Elmer of the Briar, and he's like an optional boss, but I called him Elmo of the Briar. Like, hello, boys and girls, I'm gonna wreck you. And I fought him all night long. I actually woke up, or I actually didn't even wake up. I heard my sister-in-law, because this was when I was visiting my brother in Kentucky, I heard my sister-in-law get up for work at 7 in the morning, and I just beat him at 7 in the morning. And I was like, oh my God. So I probably died 100 times. I died more to Elmer of the Briar than I did to Radon, which is like supposed to be like the harder boss. But yeah, I actually think that it'll be probably... So here's my issue with the deck currently is it's a bonfire deck, which props to Konami. They really thought that through. Release a pyro card called Bonfire, and then they're going to give a deck based around the Souls archetype, which is like, you know, the bonfire is like part of like the Dark Souls theme. So like, good job, Konami. I'll give you that. But Bonfire being like $100 per copy is ridiculous, and you will not be seeing me spending $100 per copy. I will probably pick up all these Ashen cards whenever they release, and then if they are like really, really good, then I'll consider picking up Bonfire if it stays at that price. But if Bonfire does not like come down, I'm not going to do it. Well, because I ain't playing Bonfire or that stuff, that like Sinful Spoil stuff in Infernoble. Because I think if you're going to play the Sinful Spoil stuff, you should play in the best deck to play it in, and that's Fire Kings. So I ain't going to spend money on Bonfire unless this Ashen archetype takes off. And it's kind of weird because it's like set up to do that, right? My little bro, old Bonfire bro, my buddy Sebastian, huge shout out to him as well, because he's been doing all my shorts lately, helping me with shorts and all that stuff. He pulled 2 collector's rare. Well, he pulled 1 collector's rare out of a pack. And then after that, he bought a box and pulled another collector and a normal Bonfire. So like he has his play set. So he's been like fighting the urge to sell Bonfire, sell the collectors just to pick up regular ones. But Squid Arts, hey man, sometimes I know it sounds awful, but sometimes like, you know, like you're doing a favor, right? Like in a way, like he's a player, probably needs some quick cash, struggling, whatever, and you need bonfires. So like you help him out, he helps you out. It's worth it. It's worth it. But today, guys, I actually have this stuff pulled up here. We're going to look through... the only thing I don't have is the other trap card for the Flame of Swordsman. So I figured like we'll just run through combos and sequences and stuff like that. And we'll watch the sequences that my friend in the Discord shared so that we can see it and I can understand it better. Because I think I was too hyper-fixated on ending on the Ultimate Flame Swordsman. And I think now that I see it, so my opinion is still swayed to playing the Boxes of Revolution stuff. But, my liver for a player. There we go. I got 2 threats for 16. That's good, man. That is good. I'm actually selling my liver for a place. Dang, bonfire. You guys are crazy with bonfire. I don't know if I've ever told. I know I've told the story 100 times, but I bought Toon Chaos when it came out. I bought an entire box of it, and all I was looking for was Renaults and Gearfrieds, and I didn't pull a single card. And like half my box, wherever the holo was supposed to be, was a blank white card. So I don't really buy a lot of product. And then of course when SP came out and Angelica's Angel Ring, I brought like 4 boxes of that for a common and a secret, and I ended up finally getting it. But after like at what loss, right? Like after $400, I was able to get the common and $100 SP. So like I really negged there. But so yeah, I think I was looking at this engine wrong. Well, actually, I don't think I am. I was looking at this engine wrong. It should precisely revolve around the traps, which then still get to me like what's better. What I believe currently this deck needs is the ability to protect Angelica, and like the current engines that we have in the deck allow you to do that. Like Ogier plus Renault always should be able to protect you. I have actually thought about it because you have a lot of extra deck space now. Like you could easily play, you could fit it in 100%. So so I have thought about it because it does give you the ability to it gives you like such good ability, right? To bring your opponents, like bring their chicken back. And then on top of that, with the Promethean Princess coming out, it's just going to allow us to do some pretty crazy stuff that way. I see him from saying, I love you playing for but I play without the synchron and more hand jab. That's fine, brother. Yeah, play it the way you want to, brother. Play it the way you want to. I wouldn't say they're new. They've been showcased. I think like I said, one thing that upset me when this stuff came out, every combo showed Fighting Flame Swords plus like the spoils package, and it never really showed anything outside of that. So it pretty much to me said that, oh, in order to get to these crazy combos, you have to open the spoils, which is like inconsistent. But then a lot of people correct me in my combo video with if you open Renaud, which you play 10 plus copies or 10 ways to get to Renault. So like the likelihood of the likelihood of this being the only card you see is really slim to none. But the only issue is that this card really only works well if you don't open the Sinful Spoil with like Oliver and Renault. So like if you open those mediocre hands where it's like you have multiple normal summons, like the level 4s, this doesn't do too much. But that's why we're going to be here, is like we're going to potentially like work through certain sequences and maybe like do some test hands where we're just rigor hand to always open the Fighting Flame and stuff like that. So don't see it much. I want to do Blaster. That's insane. The dragon. I thought about teching in one of the dragons because I thought it was pretty cool. Did test with Super Heavy Sam or in Dale Bell's engine. I did test with Super Heavy Samurai, and at that, it's very similar that I didn't like it. Just a lot of so like on paper to me it seemed like really good, and it does really good. But like you literally your best cards in your deck are spell cards, and you have to like resolve your Super Heavy Samurais before you commit to spells, which isn't like a terrible thing. And then I know some people complain about like the bricks, right? They're like, oh, you got to play like the 2 pendulum card bricks or whatever. And that's not okay. And to me, that doesn't matter. Like, you know, like arguably you play in like different strokes, different folks. So like if you enjoy the Super Heavy Samurai, play it, because like every engine you play is going to have like a minimum of like 1 or 2 bricks. Is there a way to protect Angelica from Imperm? Actually, believe it or not, it's called a Fighting Flame Sword. When your opponent activates a card effect that targets Flame Swordsman monster that... Oh, never mind. Dang it. See, this is where they... darn it. I actually was really hyped. I thought this allowed you to protect any Fire Warrior from being targeted. Sad life. So no, sadly there is not. That's the one thing that you do. So that's one thing I was trying to get at. If you're not playing the Revolution stuff, right? Or if you're not playing like the Gearfried lines or like trying to go for them, your Angelica can even be hit by Ash Blossom at that point. So like even the best case scenario where like, you know, you can chain block Angelica's first effect with the Swordsman, every good player is just going to hit Angelica's second effect, because that's the effect that gets the ball rolling. The ability for her to go into the roll and to dump a card allows you to get the ball rolling, and they'll just hold their Ash Blossom for that. So it literally, I don't think there's any way for us to beat Imperm. Like I thought for a second, I really did. I was actually kind of pumped. I thought Fighting Flame Swords, as you can add 1 card from your deck that mentions Flame Swordsman when an attack is declared involving a Fire Warrior monster. Like, come on, like you're gonna be generic with the attacking thing, but when your opponent activates a card effect that targets a Flame Swordsman monster that mentions it you control, then you can stop it. That sucks. But what I was getting at is that Imperm is probably like the only hand trap that we truly lose to, simply because like we cannot put up an I mean, you can, don't get me wrong, you can, especially with this stuff. You have the ability to like get to like Baron before you make Angelica in some hands. So like you do have the ability to do that in certain like cards, certain like, I'd say like, if I remember correctly, 3 or 4, 2 to 3 card, 4 card combos, you can get to that stuff. But if you don't play like the Revolution package, or you don't play the, you're not focusing on making Gear Freed, you lose to Ash, and you lose to every hand trap plus Imperm. If you play that stuff, you only lose to Imperm, which is ways like protect it. There's ways to play through it, I guess, in my opinion. I would say it's personal preference, my man Andy, because like I did a list of things, but like there's definitely pros to both sides. You get access to very powerful traps, to some very strong 2-card combos with the Fighting Flame Swordsman stuff. But then like with the Boxer stuff, you have a significantly smaller engine that allows you to play a lot more non-engine. Don't we lose to Droll? And are there any links you'd recommend to use instead of Extra? Hida would be a good link, actually. That's probably one of the places that you could actually throw in a Hida, to be honest with you. Lavavel is not going to be good in this format. Lavavel is just a generic Fire Warrior level 8 that you can make, because like you can use Ricardetto and stuff like that in level 4s. But being able to destroy something like a Fire King is not going to feel good. So definitely Hida would probably take its place, because then you could steal and then make the Promethean Princess that's coming out, and then go further from there. But the Flame Swords will just take up a hefty engine. Like even right here, like I'm missing 2 of the Flame Swords. So like you're supposed to have, the engine itself is 3 of this, 1, excuse me, and then you're supposed to do like one more trap and 1 of each. You can get away with not playing the fusion, but I think you need to play the fusion to facilitate a 1-card combo with the Flame Swordsman, because sometimes like you're gonna open hands that get disrupted. So like, so it's a huge engine compared to even, let's see, so even compared to if you're playing Boxers plus Revolution, that's 8 cards. You have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 card engine that's going in. And then someone actually in my comment section posted that you can do like a crazy combo with just the stuff, you know, like double Charles Baron and something, like it's insane, but you have to play Camelot plus Round Table. So then you're adding 2 more cards if you want to do that crazy stuff. And I don't think it's worth it in my opinion, but like I made a comment, community post too, like my opinion is not gospel. Like if it's not that much, it might not seem worth it to me, but it might be worth it to you. So if it's worth it to you, you do it. But we'll go. I actually want to show you guys the combo stuff that he in Discord that Landscape ended up showing here. So here we go. So if you're not part of the Discord, join the Discord. It's pretty nice. But we'll go through his first combo here. One second, we'll pull it over here so you guys can see it. So it's saying Flame Swordsman plus Renault, pretty much. Do you play Uppercutter with Ib stuff? I haven't messed with Ib yet, Franco. I've heard a lot. I've been kind of thinking about it, man, because like you can do some crazy stuff with Ib, because Ib can summon out a warrior from the deck too, and you can get some crazy things. I need to pick up my Ib, because Ib was like, I played Ib back when Ib was like crazy with Crusadia Guard Dragon and all that stuff. So like I need to stop slacking and just pick up my Ib. But oh wait, so you end up doing there's typical thing: chain block, Angelica, dump, add the trap. And see, I hyper fixated on the fusion, right? So like you don't do that. You just grab one of the traps, use the Salamander, grab the second trap, and then it's like pretty much typical. What is it? Inferno plays from here. Salamander target, banish, right? Come out rolling to send the Turpin. Pay 12. You know, now we're just into the standard round. Except for I think here, there's something. Yeah, you go here and then you add Roland differently to this scenario. You're not using Roland to trigger Angelica because you already have access to the Salamandria in the graveyard, so you don't have to use Roland like this. Instead, you can hold the Roland to make an extra Charles, which is really cool. Now, given the only thing that I dislike about this, but it's like one of those things like I hyperfixate on that doesn't make it important, is like part of the inboard is very reactive. It's not solid. So like if they play like some sort of runic deck or they do something right that just kind of like puts it up in the air. So here we go, second Charles. And then, hey, I can pause this real quick. Well, I'll pause it here in a second. In phase, main deck rolling. Grabs you the Angelica's Angel Ring, and then you use Charles to equip from the deck the other Flame Swordsman. There we go. We'll pause right here. So this is really cool. So pretty much you have 3 disruptions on a Charles, 4 disruptions right here. So you have 4 disruptions along with the monster cards on the field, and then you have 2 Book of Moons along. So that's 4, 6 disruptions, and then you get even to further disruptions as it progresses on, because I'm not gonna like force to play through it because he's gonna showcase like what happens. Charles negate, you send the Flame Swordsman. Flame Swordsman then sends from the extra deck the I have it here, sends the Fighting Flame Dragon, right? Then this guy right here, the Flame Swords Dance, allows you if a monster is special summoned 1 level 7 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck, well, that is Flame Swordsman, or mentions it, then you can change 1 face down monster on the field to face down with defense position. So you get access to the normal Flame Swordsman. Essentially what this turns into is you have 4 disruptions, 5, 6 disruptions, and you're going to get a 7th disruption because reactively you're going to be able to use the Salamander Chain, and or I believe this card does it too, the Flame Swords Dance, to be able to fuse during the opponent's turn into the big Flame Swordsman, which then you can use Roland's effect in the graveyard to equip to the Flame Swordsman, triggering your Charles, and also making the Flame Swordsman live as well. So that's insane. That's really cool. Like I said, like this is the type of combos like that I wanted to look into, that I needed to focus on, because 1-card combo, I mean, like we can't argue the 1-card combo and the different engines that exist out there, like the Boxer engine and stuff like that. The Boxer versus the Flame Swordsman in a 1-card combo outclasses the Flame Swordsman, because 1 Flame Swordsman doesn't bridge you into the Infernobles. 1 Flame Swordsman gets you the ultimate Flame Swordsman, which isn't the end of the world. But the Flame Swordsman stuff is really good. If all you open is Flame Swordsman stuff, like if you open Flame Swordsman plus Fighting Spirit, you're going to be able to get to like 2 to 3 disruptions because of Flame Spirit being able to search out the traps, which give you Book of Moons, and allow you to make your huge guy live, right? So then you go into the realm of 2-card combos, right? So we'll go ahead and quickly go down here. We'll go, and he shows us also a combo where you utilize Ogier and Renault. Oh, it's going to Ogier and Renault. But here's my issue with playing Ogier, doing this with an Ogier Renault line, right? Is that, so by doing this sequence here, you don't send Gearford, you don't do any of that cool stuff. You're opening your Angelica to being hit by everything under the sun. And if we continue to play here, again, I'm just saying, like, if you play against a bad player, maybe the bad player, like, Ashes, the Flame Swordsman, and then at that point, you just do standard Infernoble stuff like you would do. But you end up going here, and there's, like, different things you can do, right? There's, like, tons of things. So you had Salamander Chain. Pretty sweet, actually. Special summon here. Grab back the Flame Swordsman. And then, like, you can send, I don't know if he does in this combo, but you can send, like, Ricardetto with Angelica and get the Flame Swordsman as a body if you need to. But Angelica, so right here, actually, this is a pretty good scenario. So right here, your Angelica is like literally wide out in the open. Whereas if you were doing the Gearfried lines, pretty much, your Angelica could potentially get hit with Ash on her first effect, right? But you have the ability with this Engrave to be able to connect to it, to be able to connect to the Gearfried, which would protect your second effect from being hit with anything, and it puts your opponent on better have Imperm. But it also, that right there, if they have Ash on the first effect here, ashing the first effect of Angelica feels kind of good, I'm really not going to lie, because, like, you play 3 copies of the field spell, so most of the time, like, you're more likely to open with it. So, like I said, if you're out there and you want to know how to counter stack, I'd say hold your disruption. If you have 1 disruption, 1 Ash, hold it for the second effect of Angelica. But in this scenario here, if he was doing the anti-Gearfried, if he was doing the Gearfried line, he'd be able to protect the Angelica from anything but Imperm or double hand trap, right? But he was just showing he's showing the combo sequence. So Salamandria, trigger Angelica, Angelica bag out. Then we get to go to summon out Roland, which this I found interesting, and he dumps Ricardetto. And then, okay, yeah, so he uses Ricardetto to summon out the Flame Swordsman. This becomes a tuner. And this is going to let him grab the other trap, I believe. So we grab the Flame Swords Dance. Go ahead and synchro into main deck Roland's what he goes for. Main deck Roland deactivates its effect, which is really cool. Activate the field spell, pay 12. Grab the Durandal. Activate the Durandal. And see, this is something that I was not liking when I was like really testing, was you lost Angelica's Angel Ring, because even though like people are going to tell you that, oh, you know, like not board breakers aren't being played, but Orcus is literally running around and like it's a popular deck, and Droplets is like huge in that deck. So like Droplets, you're going to get dropleted. So like I didn't like the fact that this deck, like if you end on 2 Book of Moons, whoop-de-doo, you know what I mean? It's just like why would you rather end on 2 Book of Moons when if you somehow can find a way to Angelica's Angel Ring, you can end on more? Like they couldn't beat you with the 1 blowout card, which Landscape here is showing that you can still get access to Angelica's Angel Ring through that. You just forsake getting the Oliver in the end phase to make it untargetable to getting the Fighting Swordsman, which I can almost say is better, because at that point your Charles is untargetable, yes, but you get so much benefit out of the Flame Swordsman going to the graveyard that it kind of makes it like worth it. So again, this is the end board, the 2 traps. And you don't have to. I know some people don't like this trap right here, the Flame Swordsman, so like technically you don't have to add it, but it just gives you that ability to get the Flame Swordsman, which then gets you the access to make the Ultimate Flame Swordsman, because it's just free. It's a free disruption that you just grab through your combo. And this is all off of 2 cards. So like I said, when I look at combo efficiency, I look at how many cards go in, how many disruptions you get out of it. And not to mention, in this combo sequence, you get double add in the end phase off of Roland and off of Gearfried. Off of both Rolands, actually. You get both Rolands trigger here, main deck, extra deck Roland. And so this is the end board. So this is probably my favorite combo sequence with this engine. Because, one second, I'm going to, hang on, chat. I'm sorry. I just realized I can't see you guys. So we go over here. There we go. Now I can see you guys. So you get, like, you put 2 cards in. You get those 2 cards back. So do you break even there? So then literally your end board is a plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forms of disruption. That's kind of crazy. And then like you have insane follow-up in the sense of Gearfried and Almus with 3 other cards in your hand. So that alone kind of makes it worth it. And I know some people are gonna be like, well, do you have to play the Sinful Spoil package? And I don't believe you have to. I think that if you can do it, you lose on playing like the Sinful Spoil stuff with it. Just gives like maximum potential. You know what I mean? Like it gives you maximum potential, but you don't need to play it. You don't need to have access to it. This engine only feels good when you know you go in second. It has gas that goes second. Yeah, I guess it does. Like it does. You cannot lie there. It does have a lot of energy to go second. We sure are. I wish they banned Phoenix Blade instead of his old. So like I could agree with you, man. There's like so many cards like could have been answered instead of his old. Like Phoenix Blade could have gone. They could have touched like the Connector and Dolphin package, like remove. But like so that's the thing, right? Is they either ban 2 to 3 or 4 cards, leave his old alone, or they ban his old and his old answers all those cards in one hit. So I see it. I see the logic behind Konami hitting his old, but again, the deck literally wasn't performing crazy, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was topping, but it wasn't winning like other decks had done. Like literally, Plants topped how many YCSs before they finally got touched, and Infernoble, they won YCSs, not top, they won, and Infernoble's top 2, top 1. We're just discussing the Flame Swordsman stuff right now. Elo, that's really all that we're doing. Yeah, I understand the logic. I still don't like it. I don't like what they did to my boy. I don't think that was there also some, I think there was, but I don't think that was consistent enough to even be considered even a threat, to be honest with you. Yeah, it does feel sad. So essentially, the Flame Swordsman stuff is pretty correct. And I do agree, someone also commented that you do have 3 additional copies. If you play 3 Swordsman, 3 this, you have like multiple ways to the Swordsman. It just means that you gotta like, so like technically speaking, we have all these cards here, right? That go in. Arguably, from what I've been seeing, you almost don't need to play SWORDSREALM or the Fusion. You can just play 1 more trap and then 3 of this. So like the engine gets lowered down a little bit. But I would say, like I said, I think you should play the Fusion for in case the scenario you open just the Flame Swordsman, because at least then you're able to do something. At least then if you open some sort of just Flame Swordsman stuff, like the 2 cards here, at least you're able to go normal summon, grab Realm effect to sack, this effect to send. This will grab you Fusion. And then, well, you also get to summon out the Flame Swordsman. And then you can Fighting Spirit for Kunai, or Kunai, Salamandra chain. And then you can set Salamandra and use Fusion here to go into the big guy. And then equipped to it here. So then, like, you have, 2 forms of disruptions by just opening. It's a break even still, but I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, are we really... Like, we're trying to figure out, we're trying to get a 1-card combo with a... That's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. I love the quick play search before the main phase. Yeah, that's what makes me like this card a lot, is the ability that it can do before the main phase, like standby phase, Flame Spirit, Flame Sword. Just being able to grab yourself the flipping whatever you really need. It's kind of nice. It's extremely nice. And that means that literally this guy works with, you have 6 copies of the Flame Swordsman. So you have 6 copies. You have more than 6 because you have Rhoda too, right? So you have like tons and tons of copies that work well. And then after that, you have a total of Renaud. And then that's what blows my, if you're playing, I think everyone that plays the singleton names, I think Renaud is like, I understand, because if you're playing the Sinful Spell package, you have the ability to get Ricardetto from the deck, so it helps out quite a bit. But Renaud, you have your Durandals, you have Museums, you have Rhoda, you have Heritage of the Chalice, you have... I mean, we can actually pull out all the ways you have to get access to Renaud to make 2-card combos work. So like if you're maxing out and you're playing triple Renaud, so you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You have 13 ways in your deck. So 1/4 of your deck can get to Renaud or Oliver with the Flame Swordsman. So that's pretty crazy. There's also which is, like I said, that's insane to think, like when you actually put down all the numbers, like that you can 1/3 of your deck. So it's like statistically you should always see, like, maybe you should see like one of those ways with the Swordsman, right? But you don't even have to grab the Swordsman. You can even grab the continuous spell to have the Ogier resolve, or even a Boxer. Yeah, actually, you're absolutely right. You don't even have to grab this. If you open like Ogier, you can use this to grab the Realm and then activate Realm normal summon. There's definitely different avenues. Like I said, the only issue is like now you're talking about playing the Boxers with it. That's a huge, I mean, like that's a big engine already of non-engine and stuff like that. But I still believe, and in all my testing, that if Angelica doesn't resolve, you don't make it. Like, you just don't, you don't get to play. So you need to have Angelica resolve. And there's nothing we can really make to beat Imperm, right? So, like, we can't beat Imperm. So that means that we got to you got to move on. You got to like understand that, and it's entirely up to you too. Like this engine gives you a lot of like fallback, right? But it doesn't really provide a lot of protection. It doesn't give you, it gives you playthrough. It gives you, the closest thing to protection it does is, like I said, is when it gives you the ability to chain block Isolde with the Flame Swordsman. But again, any good player will just hold their Ash or their Ash pretty much, or their Ogres, because I've seen Ogres coming back in to hit the continuous spell. They'll just hold it for when you use the second effect of Isolde to when it becomes equipped, and then like you're still caught. Whereas at least if you play like Boxer, or not even, you don't have to play Boxers. If you just play like Revolution, the Revolution package, you're able to get up to like Crystal Wing before you're even into like the realm of 5 summons, and that way like your Angelica is like safe from everything but Imperm, so it puts them on better have Imperm. And there was something, let's see here, let's do something, let's run a hand real quick, and I'll see if we can showcase what happens. Yeah, if you want to play, if you play Bonfire, the Battle Boxer engine, it's kind of nuts, but we'll just run something real quick and we'll do Imperm. Like almost never, so there's 4, 5, right? So this is actually perfect because these 3 cards here don't matter. But they can, because you're getting hand trapped, right? So that's when that's why I believe in 1-card combos, 2-card combos, etc. Make a deck significantly better, because when you have a 1-card combo, that means you have 4 other cards in your hand that work with it. So if you play a player who doesn't know your strategy, or they hand trap you multiple times, you have the ability to play through it because you have other cards in your hand to push through stuff. Whereas if you have like a 2- and 3-card combo deck, you're less cards to play through stuff, right? Thank you, my man. Entei's like, I'm a huge fan of lions. Love lions from Chronicles of Narnia, from Lion King. And Entei is like the fire dog, right? So kind of convenient that I love fire warriors or Infernobles and there's the fire lion. But so anyway, we're just going to play through and we're going to go Imperm on, because this is a perfect hand to showcase what I'm talking about. So you go here, use the effect. You go ahead and grab your spar. You special spar. We'll go ahead and go tuning. It really doesn't matter. I was borrowing my Revolution, so I had to give it back. So this is Revolution. And it doesn't matter what we mill. And then we can go here, Revolution plus the Boxer, into Power Tool. Power Tool effect, we reveal 3. For the sake of just like going through it, we'll just say we get Durandal. But in this case, if you're playing, you reveal these 3, and if they get Almus, you just get Durandal anyway. So you get Durandal, you go ahead and equip Durandal, use Durandal's effect to go ahead and grab Renault, wherever he is. Right, so you grab Renault, go ahead and use the Revolution Synchron, mill. Go ahead and go here for your Crystal Wing. So right now this is before a 5th summon, so I know people are like, ew, Nib's a myth, but Nib's a myth like Bigfoot until you see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all a myth. It's all not real. It's all fairy tale and folklore until you get smacked with it. But then you go here and you special here, use the effect to add back the uppercutter. And then you can special here. So we've technically special him Spar 2 times, whereas arguably with the Flame Swordsman stuff, we would have an extra body if we're getting more bodies in a sense, is what I'm trying to get at, because we're kind of break even. So the Flame Swordsman gives us 1 body, so there's 1 body here. This would give us this, that could bring out a level 5, but we've already got to exhaust a Boxer twice, so resources, right? We can go here, and since you open this, right? So when we make our Angelica here, Angelica will grab us Museum. Then we get into a realm of some crazy things that could happen. But we're going to go through Imperm on Angelica, right? So we're going to go here, effect here, to go ahead and grab ourselves our Museum. So then we go ahead and activate Museum, pay 12 to go ahead and grab ourselves. We've already exhausted Durandal. So probably the correct play would be to grab Almus, or you grab Joyous. Both will do the same thing, but Almus would just allow you to because right here what we can do is, if we don't know that Imperm is coming, right? Because we don't have Connector anymore, so we don't know Imperm's coming. You'd want to play and try to make the biggest board. So the biggest board would be to try and equip. Well, actually, wait a minute. We have to throw away an equip, so you actually probably wouldn't go Almus. You'd probably go Joyous, or you could go Joyous first, probably. go Joyous, and then attach Joyous to here. Then you'd attempt to trigger the effect here, right? So this attempts to happen, and Imperm gets hit. So right now, Angelica has not resolved. So we're just sitting here with this. So worst case scenario, we have the ability to fire off a Museum again. And if you added Almus, you can just use Almus to go ahead and trigger into Spar. So right here, this is a prime example of the most weakest part of our deck is the fact that we cannot play through Imperm on Angelica, but this is exactly the way we do this. Why didn't I go into Dempsey? Because there was no need for me to go into Dempsey, and Dempsey played into Nibiru. Dempsey played into hand traps. By doing it this way, I already had access to everything I needed without going into Dempsey. But because with Crystal Wing, we get the body, we just got to make Angelica, right? So Joyous effect to grab back the Spar. We can then special summon the Spar, and then you have multiple routes you can do here. We can then overlay and go into Dempsey and get a search. You could search for... really almost anything. You could search... You can go into Dempsey, search. We have Museum. So, like, we haven't used Museum's second effect yet, which is pretty cool. So let's see. But this, like, right here, this is just trying to show you, like, playing through Angelica. That's the number one people are like, well, if Angelica goes, you know, like, you don't have a lot, right? So that's why you need to play something, in my opinion. That's why the Revolution package and that package shines superiorly here, is because even if we had nothing else, period, and Angelica got stopped, we still had Crystal Wing, and we were still going to be able to, at the bare minimum, with still having the Boxer out, make an SP. So even through our most deadliest trophy, we're still able to get to something, rather than just passing on Angelica. But we'll go here, effect here to go ahead and grab us. And this is where, like, the rest of your hand can kind of play in, and that's okay. That's exactly why I preach about, like I said at the beginning, of multiple card combo, 1 and 2 card combos, is such you can utilize. So we can go Oliver here, right? Pitch here. Summon becomes level 1. We can go ahead and synchro here for start as Charge Warrior. We'll shuffle. Charge Warrior is going to get us a draw. And this is literally the only reason that Charge Warrior is played, or that I even can imagine playing Charge Warrior, is this one scenario right here. So we get a draw, rolling. That's actually kind of nice. Actually, that's extremely nice, because that right here is going to give us our Charles, which is going to give us some crazy things, I believe. Possibly. So then we can go Oliver effect to attach, Museum effect to move forward, synchro into a 10. Yeah. I said Charles, but you need a level 3. Well, yeah, so we go up here. And then we technically have Museum again. So, like, we could go Museum. Like, you could just, like, you see, like, you can start playing further, right? Like, we can go Museum, second Museum, pay 12, grab this, right? You could then, hypothetically, you could go Almus onto Dempsey, Roland here, then Museum effect move Roland up, because it's a new one, and then you can, yeah, link into SP. Link into SP, and then banish something, and or that. And then if we move further, like when we get the new stuff, you can go into like Hita bring back something, and then go into the Promethean Princess, Monster Reborn, and then just like go farther. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get to go even like further into the whale if we want to. Cards that are definitely like cuttable in the extra deck is 100%. Like these cards, like you don't need to play these cards. So, like, there's your princess and there's your whale if you really want to. Like, and then don't forget you should probably play Hita. So Promethean whale, and then you definitely have space to cut. You could probably cut Gandava if you really want to, but I like having a rank 4. But maybe it's not needed moving forward. Or you can cut like Link Spider. Like, truly making a Link Spider doesn't really benefit us except for like when we get nibbed. And by the times we get nibbed, making Link Spider, we don't have an extender to even like extend out to make Little Knight like we used to, unless you're playing like the Sinfoil stuff. But most of the point, people play Link Spider to turn the token into the Link Spider so they can send it off with the spoil stuff. But anyway, that's, I mean, like right here, end phase, you have Roland's effect resolving. So like you get to add. So like you can go ahead and pick up a Gear Freed for follow-up. So then through Angelica getting impermed, right? So like throughout the most important choke point in your deck by just opening your standard 2-card combo, you're doing fine. Whereas I feel like if we were to throw in the Swordsman stuff, our inboard would be significantly less. I don't know if I... Ooh. Well, most of the time... Oh, no, see. That's crazy. More options to send to GY instead of the safe lines. Oh, yeah, Princess is just going to kind of like... I think Princess is going to give this deck like a crazy type of like playthrough. What's in my opinion of Sky Crisis? It's won me a few games, Sky Crisis has, but it's one of those things where it comes up in like those, for me, it's only come up in niche scenarios, where that's why I can say like it's cuttable, because like the times it's won me games, like, because I sit down, dude, like I'm thorough. The games it's come up are games I could have won if I would have understood my opponent's deck better, interacted better. So technically speaking, yeah, you don't need to play it. But it is what it is. But I mean, that's like something through imperm. But so like that's what I'm trying to get at, is that at the end of the day, also you could potentially cut this too. You don't have to play this. This is literally for, the only reason is for when this gets disrupted, right? So you don't have to play Charge Warrior. Charge Warrior is 100% cuttable. Arguably, moving forward, and maybe somebody else can vouch, has wondered, if you don't want to play, like if you want to play the list that I've shown where you play like Power Tool and stuff like that, you can cut this for the Princess, and then you just use Angelica if she gets hit to just go ahead and climb into the Princess Reborn, go into the Whale. And then like, even then, like you still get more out of just Angelica, because like normally, right, like Angelica gets hit, she just stays there. And you want to get something out of Angelica, so it just allows you to like turn into the Whale. That's why you play Charge Warriors, because like you get Whale plus Promethean. Charge Warrior gives you a draw plus Baron, so you get 2 for the ways of that right there. Is Appalosa still makeable? It is still makeable. Team Samurai showed a video. Team Samurai showed his combo sequence of you can make Appalosa. It's not before the big whale. It's like the level 4 whale. I can't think of its name. It's just a level 4. It's a link 4 fire that you can link into with the Princess. You could also potentially link into the Flame Tongue card, which is a link 2 that protects your back row, which he looks cool, but I don't know if you'd want to do that. I don't know if he like outshines it in the scenario that you can add a banished fire back, so it's like a resource, and then like they can't target cards in your spell and trap zone, which then means like, you know, like they can't just pop your equip spells and stuff like that. But so here, we'll run through another one real quick, and we'll see what happens here. So Chalice, Splash, Spar. So we'll actually cut out Spar and Tuning. Well, see, here is, here's something that's like cool, because Spar literally being level 4 Fire Warrior works so well with the strategy. But if we were going to cut these 2 cards out, because both engines, when I was playtesting, I cut these out for the whole Salamandria package, because like the entire engine is huge. Like it's literally like a 7-8 card engine, so you have to tag it out. So what we'll do is we'll turn the monster into the Flame Swordsman. We'll do the best scenario, right? Spar will be the Flame Swordsman, and Tuning will be, I don't know, should we just make it the, because that makes sense, right? Tuning's a 3 of, Flame Swordsman's a 3 of. Spar is part of the package, so I think that's fair to go ahead and give these 2, and we'll just do this. So this is our hand right here. So again, those 2 cards before, Spar plus the, yep, that's it. McClellan, that's it. So just take note, Spar, and even just having Tuning along with Heritage of the Chalice is a full combo, is protected with Crystal Wing, right? So we're going to say Angelica gets hit here and what we do. So I do believe there's like... So I think we normal summon here. And then if we play correctly, we grab ourselves Chain. And I'll grab the Fusion as well. But the Fusion will act as the other trap. So we have this. We go Heritage of the Chalice. Oh, we don't even need to because we have Flame Swords there. This makes this actually a little bit better. I think we go here and we grab the Realm because we have the trap, right? So then we can quick play into grabbing the trap. And then we Heritage of the Chalice and we grab Renault, right? I think Renault's the best call. But then, again, we don't get to maximize the full potential of Renault, but that's okay. We special here. Synchro. To Angelica. Chainlink 1 Angelica. Chainlink to the Swordsman. Swordsman will send... I forgot I have, like, the extra stuff over here. Swordsman will send Salamandra. And then Angelica grabs us the field spell, right? So again, we're playing that she gets hit, right? She's going to get hit with a fat imperm. So then, Salamandria target, effect, imperm, right? So whack, imperm happens. So now we get to like play pretty crazy here, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, that's the comparison to what we get to do here. So we can go Museum, pay 12 to go ahead and grab Durandal. Then we can go Durandal, right? Go Durandal to grab Turpin. Is this right? Grab Turpin. Then we can, and see, this is something, this is what I was talking about earlier. So this should be, the Swordsman should be able to send this. It's kind of crazy that a deck that revolves around like equip spells and monsters that become equip spells, you don't get to send face-up monsters as equip. It just makes no sense. Konami, what are you thinking? But here we are, right? Negated. We can go Flatestorm Realm, pitch and Turpin. Or, well, hold up. Maybe we don't add Turpin. Maybe Turpin's not what we add. Maybe we add Ogier. Swords Realm, pitch this, then get out the Flame Swordsman. And then we go Ogier's effect to target, Museum effect to move forward, effect here to send Turpin. Turpin can then target something that becomes a tuner, which then, if it becomes a tuner, we got to think here, because if this targets this, we can make Charles, right? I kind of just accepted that unbreakable boards are less likely without Isolde. I definitely am focused on consistency through interruptions. That is a good way to approach it, but like, yeah. All we're trying to do is like, we're playing through scenarios where your worst case, you get impermed on Isolde and what these engines like can do. So then it depends what we equip to here. Because then see, this and this can become Baron, but that's just kind of foolish to make Baron, because then what does that really get? So I think we equipped it to here. These become a tuner, right? We go into Charles. We're not going to get access to this falls off. We won't get access to like Roland, right? But since we have Salamandria, that can do it. But we can go, ooh, actually, we don't have an equip. We've had to exhaust all of our, exhaust this, we've exhausted this, exhausted this. We don't have an equip to get to a big old Chuck. So maybe that's not the play. Maybe that is not the play to go about. So, so I'm thinking maybe Turpin doesn't target this. Turpin targets one of these, right? And then you synchro these into, so this falls off, into Baron. But we don't have an equip to bring back Turpin to be able to make like SP or something. So our inboard is literally Salamander with that. And use Realm of Swordsman, reviving it from the grave. So I don't have Cross Sheep at the moment, but that's the point of doing this, Michael. So thank you for bringing that up. So if we go back to where we were, and that means we got to go back quite a ways, actually. We got to go back to this, and this is in there, and this is still not summoned, right? And this is our hand, and this is in our hand because of that. So we go Durandal effect to go ahead and pay. So this is why, actually. So there we go, Michael. So we have no way to, yeah, now it makes sense. We have no way to get the body to make it, right? So, well, maybe we do. Maybe we do. Hold up. I think you might be onto something. This right here. No, we don't. Because we pitch this and summon, we miss the Cross Sheep ability to trigger Cross Sheep. We just have no way to get an additional monster on field. We have no way to get an additional monster on the field to make Cross Sheep, to then be able to go SWORDSREALM, sadly. And SWORDSREALM is what's given us the discard to get Ogier here. So in this scenario here, compared to the board, the hand before, you can see that like this is probably going to be able to get to like Baron, maybe Baron Charles. It just gets to a lot less. You're still getting to the one disruption, so you're getting to two disruptions. But before, what would we have? We had SP, Crystal Wing, and Baron. So like we get to just more to. You're just getting more this way. Sorry, just got to chat. What was the starting combo? Starting combo was hang on. It does, so like we're playing hypothetically, you're getting hit by Imperm. So I don't think there's really a way. Maybe Oliver can, maybe, yeah. So let's go ahead and like rethrow it back, because that's the point of doing this, right? So the starting combo, we took out the two cards which we opened, which were the Boxer Engine for this right here, and I think it was this. So this was right here. So standby phase, fire off flame, fighting flame spirit. I grabbed the Salamander here. You can grab the one, but you will send Ash for Realm. But then you still don't have the body. So if you send Ash, you still trigger that, but how you can't get Oliver Ogier to the graveyard still. And then you link. We're missing a body through that sequence. Is what is happening. The Flames Realm is what's getting us the ability to. Give us there. So this is so here we go, right? So Flame Swordsman, grab this. Normal, use the effect. I assume this is where you grab the Realm. We go Heritage of the Chalice. Heritage of the Chalice will grab us Renault, right? Am I still? So fighting Flame Swords, right? You're gonna be upset, Dovan. It has to target a Flame Swordsman card. So I thought the same thing you did very early in stream. I thought it was a Fire Warrior, and I was like kind of pumped. I was like, okay, wait a minute, because my argument for playing the Revolution Synchron and Boxer stuff is that it allows you to have more 2-card combos that allow you to protect yourself from every hand trap but Imperm. And this card right here allowed you to beat Imperm. But yeah, it doesn't, sadly. It has to target. When an opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Flame Swordsman or a monsters that mention it that you control, negate that effect. So it does nothing for Angelica, sadly. So we go here, we special summon out Renault, and then you take these two here, and we synchro into Angelica. So we've normal summoned, right? So we don't have anything. Chainlink 1, Angelica, Chainlink 2, Flame Swordsman. Flame Swordsman will then send the Salamandria, and then this will add us the field spell. Salamandria will then probably the best thing to add would be the second trap, but since I don't have... Oh, wait. You had the Sword Realm with this right here, right? No. You'd add the second trap, which we'll just add Fighting Flame Spirit because I don't have the second trap. That's right? Normal summon. This grabs you Realm. Quick play. Got us this. So then we have a... So then if this is the second trap... Okay. So better than what we thought, right? So now we move on into the Imperm stage of the thing. Salamandria, target, right? I am playing it, or I'm testing with it, but it just, I mean, it is an option, so let's do that. Because a lot of people are moving, you add the first trap by the Fighting Flame Swordsman, Fighting Flame Sword, because the opening hand was these guys right here. This was the starting hand. So standby phase, Flame Swordsman, grab the trap. And then normal summon, grab the Realm. And then now we get fusion off of the this guy. Because you didn't open with Realm. You get Realm off the normal summon. But technically, you could have sequenced it backwards. You could have sequenced it the other way, technically speaking. You actually could have used this to add Realm, activate Realm, normal, grab, if you wanted to do it that way. Silly Senor, you are correct that way. That'd probably be the best way to do it to ensure that Ash or whatever hand traps here. But we're playing if they have it. What we're doing, gentlemen, is Imperm Angelica. That is the true thing that we cannot beat, and that is the one thing that I'm trying to show comparing the two engines. So here we go. Salamandria, target, fat Imperm. So she stays here, right? Oh no. So then we can go here. Pay 12 here. This actually, I think the first time we did it, we didn't grab this right here. You guys saw that? That was kind of cool. You can begin with Ogier and send Ricardetto. So I thought about that too. So we'll rewind this hand and we'll go back and do it. We'll go through there. But this is I think this gets a little bit better than what was happening, because I think we forgot the ad. Because we just had these two cards and we were forgetting a card. So anyway, Museum grabs Durandal. Use Durandal to go ahead and grab Ogier. Then we can go Flame Sword Realm, right? Pitching Ogier, summon out the Flayed Swordsman. We can go effect of this to equip, effect of this to move forward, effect of this to send Turpin. You don't. Actually, you don't even really need to send Turpin, right? Well, you have to send. If you want to get access to Charles, you have to send Turpin. Because this is our hand, right? So you'd have to. Well, no, we don't have to. No, hold up. Yeah, we're still going places, man. Effect. No. Yeah. Nope. Because we have no way to get to... we're lacking an equip spell. So, like, we can go Turpin, right? Technically, we get special Turpin, too. All honesty, we could special Turpin, overlay for Dempsey. Dempsey add. Make SP... What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to Charles, is what I'm really trying to dig for, right? But I don't think we can, because we can equip here, turn into a tuner. And then we can turn these into Charles, but we don't get access to the ability to make Big Charles. But with having Trap, Charles's pop is live, and then we can use Fusion into the Big Swordsman that way. But I'm thinking with Turpin and Ogier, set Trap, make Ultimate Flame Swordsman. I think so that's what I'm going towards, Dark Lord Morningstar, is that I think there's actually a way we actually go a little bit further here. But I'm trying to figure out what is the correct way. Yep, 4 disruptions, no Charles. Absolutely right. But like, yeah, special here, right? And then, well, if you play the extra deck cards, like technically speaking, if you cut everything down, you could also make special here. We can overlay for, is it even worth overlaying for Dempsey? And I don't even know if you actually play Dempsey if you cut out all the boxer stuff and you play, so like maybe that's not the correct thing to even consider doing. I mean, it's a free XYZ that you can do, so we can go here, right? Search something. Okay, I think this is, so we're gonna play through with everything that we have just to showcase. But I don't think you play certain cards because of engine space and like requirements, right? So like you add it right here. I think then we can go something like this. We can keep Dempsey actually, if we really want to. We can keep Dempsey as a body, but you can send off Salamandra, summon as a level 1. Oh, but we've already, never mind. Yeah, no. Nope, we already used the field spell. So yeah, that's probably not the way to go. Yeah, that's probably, Morningstar's probably right. You probably just, maybe you can make like Dempsey, you know, grab Roland just so like we can get the in phase add. So we grab Roland to here, link here for Little Knight. And then you can go Fusion here. And then you can set Salamandra. And then you have in phase add with Roland. So then you can grab Gearfried for follow-up. So then you're able to get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. You can't get out Ogier and Turpin prior to Flame Swords, right? No, because you have to use the Swords Realm to pitch the Ogier. So, both engines can play through getting hand trapped on the Angelica, which is what we're trying to showcase, is because that is truly the biggest choke point the deck has, is getting hit there. So then, we actually have the ability to do the other route, right? So let's do that hand again, where it was this right here. Okay, so there we go. I don't want to mix it all together. So anyway, this is the hand right here. Standby phase, fire off the flame sword, and we'll do it right this time. We'll do it right to protect around. Add this. Activate, and then we normal summon. What if you go into Roland if you have... Maybe. So we activate quick play at this. Normal effect. They can't respond or do anything to this. This will grab us our kunai here. Kunai with chain. Then you go Heritage of the Chalice to grab Roland, because they see... Or not Roland, Renaud. And then you special summon out Renaud. Then we go here for Angelica. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Chainlink 2 to send. We grab Museum. Oh, we already goofed. We already goofed. Hold up, chat. I'm sorry. Let's go back and refix this here. So this is the opening hand, right? So we're supposed to go Ogier this route instead of going before. So standby phase here. We grab ourselves the Flame Swords Realm. Right? Activate. We go here for... Well, wait a second. What is... Fighting Flame Swordsman cannot add Salamandria with chain. Really? You can fuse a one fire warrior dragon. Wow. Okay, that changes things a little bit, Yvonne. Thank you for that. So that means that... Yeah, that means you almost have to do it the different way. And see, man, why... So to touch base with the Ogier line right here, your normal Ogier, dump Ricardetto special this grabs you something, but what are we doing after that? We have no access to no level 1 tuner or anything like that to be able to move forward. So I don't know if it's copium, Eric. I think that it's just an alternative way to play. Personally, I don't think that it's bad. That's crazy that it doesn't mention the Flame Swordsman. But that's why you normally add it off of like something like... So can it even add... Yeah, you can't even add this. You have to add Salamandria with this guy, right? You have to do this. Salamandria, yeah, so, okay. So Salamandra has to add Salamandria Train, okay. Go in Dempsey, grab Renaud, special, detach from Dempsey, special Renaud. And then how do we, what is the sequence? What do we get from there? I can run it out. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. So let's run it out. Let's do it. So here's the hand. There was just one more. Here's the chalice, right? So standby phase, Swordsman. You'd probably grab the Flamesword Realm. Make sure that this can grab the fusion. Yeah, it does. Okay. So he can grab that. So we go this, we go activate this, Heritage of the Chalice, grab Ogier. Normal Ogier effect, they can't do anything to it. You go ahead and you send Ricardetto, banish, summon, effect to grab this right here. Then you overlay for Dempsey, right? So that's what we're saying as we go for Dempsey. Dempsey effect to add Renaud. Detach. Effect to send Salamandra. This right here will then grab you Chain. So this is our hand. We special here. Effect of this to add back this. Then we pitch the Swordsman to summon out the Flame Swordsman. Then you can go into SP and go like here. Effect of this to attach, make it a quick effect pop, then you set this, so you end on 1, 2, 3 forms. So like that's playing through. So I mean like that's assuming they don't use the imperm, right? Because the imperms will be saying for Angelica, so like they could imperm Dempsey. Well, they could imperm Dempsey technically, but just terrible hand. You want Fighting Flame. You want Fighting Flame Swordsman to get Realm. So the other two cards that was took in place of the Fighting Flame Swords and the Swordsman was Spar and Tuning. And that's what I'm trying to showcase this video is that, or showcase in the stream is the, that boxers, I guess it's also very hand dependent too. They're just more resilient, I'd say, in playing around your Angelica getting hit with the one card that we can't stop. Whereas playing the fusion, we really don't have any way to, like, even Ash Blossom in this sequence here, we had no way to set up any form of disruption preventing Ash Blossom from even hitting our Angelica on the second effect as well. Whereas if you play Rev Synchron and stuff like that, you have the ability to get to Crystal Wing to be able to stop the Ash from potentially touching your Angelica. It puts them on have 2 hand traps or just have Imperm. And if they have Imperm, you still have the ability to play through stuff. So what we'll do, actually, is we will put these cards up for a second, just for a split second, and we'll throw in the 2 cards that they were, which was Tuning and Spar, right? This is what they were. And then we will work through playing and seeing Imperm on Angelica. David, I think you're actually, to be honest with you, I think the Diabellstar stuff makes the Boxer stuff, or not the Boxer, makes the Flamestormer stuff significantly better, tremendously. But it sucks that you'd almost have to play like a $300 engine just to play. And then, then on top of that, you're getting to an 8-card engine, 8-card probably minimum, I'd say. I'm trying to do numbers. Maybe I'm wrong. A 7 to 8 card minimum engine with the Flame Swordsman stuff. and then you play the 4-5 card Diabella Star package. That's sort of like 13 cards. It's like 1/4 of your deck dedicated to that one engine to make these cards reach their full potential. But so this is the hand here. We can go here, right? Here to the Chalice. Grab here. Normal this. Go effect here to send Turpin. Then go tuning to grab us Revolution. And then we'll quickly mill a card. It doesn't matter what we mill. But the mills definitely can help tremendously. So mill. Then we go Rev Synchron here. Into Power Tool. Then right here. Grab Ricardetto, effect Ricardo, source some Swordsman, start Angelica / Ram comboing from there. It kind of works. It definitely does work, but then you're opening, so then you're still like susceptible because your Ogier and Durandal already open you into playing underneath where you don't have to even worry about hand traps. Bought this deck as a nice buy job, and it seems like it's not the same now. It's not the same, but it definitely still can get the job done. And then we'll just, for the sake of here, grab Durandal. Effect of the... This is Revolution, just so those who are just now chiming in. Mill 1, doesn't matter what we mill. Even though we hit the museum last time, we did this too. So like even before we've committed to Angelica, we've made Crystal Link, so we put our opponent on better to have 2 hand traps and or just have Imperm. And what we're going to do is we're going to assume they have Imperm because Imperm is the 1 hand trap we can't stop, and we're going to see what the deck can do through Imperm, whereas that's what we were trying to function and do with the Flame Swordsman stuff, but it was still able to get to like 3 disruptions, right? We're still able to get to like SP this and a trap, and the ultimate with the trap. So it's still like not belittling the Flame Swordsman stuff too. It's still pretty crazy. So we equipped here. We go ahead and use the effect Turpin and Grave. Come out. Durandal effect. To grab. And see, like we can go kind of crazy here. I'm not going to show... So technically, since we did hit the Boxer, right, we do have the ability to like Renaud add back Boxer and then Angelica to dump Ricardetto summon out the Boxer, and then we get 2 free bodies that way. And I feel like that's kind of unfair, but I think I actually will show it because like that's the point of showcasing both engines, is like there is that RNG factor of being able to mill 2 cards with Revolution and Tuning that get important cards like this to the graveyard, such as like your other equipped spells. Like sometimes like through this combo sequence, without having anything, you don't get access to Malgus during your unless you're using it during the end phase if you choose not to equip Oliver. So then if you hit Malgus early, you can use Oliver Malgus later on to get in a draw. So it just gives you a little bit more freestyle, but with a little bit more flexibility. So anyway, we'll special out Renaud, and we'll add back this. And then we make Angelica. Oh, but I just remembered. But we wouldn't know that... we wouldn't know that the Imperm is coming, so... So here, into Angelica. Angelica effect to go ahead and grab Museum. We can go ahead and activate Museum, use Museum's effect to grab us. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and grab Joyous, because if you grab, the correct play to know if like Imperm is coming would be to grab Joyous first off. But probably the best thing to do would be grab Almus, and if they Imperm, you just use Almus to grab the Joyous anyway, so just skipping a step here. We'll go ahead and go Oliver effect to go ahead and target here. And then we'd attempt to use the effect here. And this is where we dump Ricardetto, but they're going to smack a fat Imperm on here, so Crystal Wing's like, I can't do anything to that. So then we'll go ahead and use Museum's effect to move forward the Ogier. And then we can equip Joyous to either one of these, and we can into Little Knight, triggering the Joyous effect to special summon out the Uppercutter. And then we can special out Spar, and then we can technically overlay here for Gandiva. So, given that this right here is extra because of the mill, your likelihood to mill level 4, so like, imagine if we hit the Ricardetto too, so like, there's just so many good cards to even hit. Even then, even if we hit like Malgus, which is probably Malgus on top of that, like Malgus being able to shovel something back and then we get a draw. On top of that could be into a hand trap, into another extender, etc. So this is just, again, just showing what the deck can play through when Angelica gets hit. And if you take out the Revolution, well, I don't think, like, you know, Layla's work would take, but take out Revolution, you lose Crystal Wing, and you lose into Disruption. Whereas certain combos and certain sequences with the Flame Swordsman, you don't get access to that, and your combo's not protected prior to that. So you fall victim to every hand trap versus just Imperm, whereas if you play the Synchron, you fall victim to only double hand trap and or just Imperm. And the deck can still kind of function through that. If you don't want to count Ash, but, well, you know, hand traps are disruptions, and you should be playing like almost 9 non-engine cards like hand traps, such as like Tactics, whatever you choose. So we'll count out. So 1, 2, 3, 4 forms of disruption through Imperm on the most important card in our deck, sadly. So I mean, like, that's still nothing to laugh at. And the fact that Crystal Wing can get huge, Ganova can 8 level 4 summons, which is actually pretty nice against the Fire King matchup because they try to special summon the Ponyx. And or what is it? The Possession Ponyx. I think that's it, yeah. Or the new Paulus card or something like that. You can just negate the summon, which is really nice. Menadium, if Menadium's still going to be... I know people predict Menadium to be something crazy, but if Menadium is something crazy, this can stop like the Meeks, and I need level 4s. Can't stop Visas, but it's okay. Shoo, I don't think you would have any other way to get through it. The only way this board could have been different is by the Promethean Princess stuff, I think. I think we would have been able to link into the Hida Reborn, go into Princess Reborn, go into Flame Well, and then like you have that plus something. And then, well, you're still getting these 2 bodies too, so you'd get the Flame Well plus this, I believe, because we could have gone into Hida Reborn. So you'd have, once we get the Promethean Princess, this end board will be kind of a little bit better, right? So like you lose SP, or you could still even make SP. You could literally, you just have the whale up here, plus either one of these, and then the ability of the princess in the graveyard. So it gets significantly better once we get the princess. Pac actually posted a video today talking about the princess, and he says that it could get hit because it's so good, and I kind of agree. How do you feel about the Ib combo? Ib is, so I like Ib, 100%. I enjoy Ib. But I played in Crusader Guard Dragon back when Ib was the reason Ib got banned. Like, I played around that time. But I just feel like if you're going to make a level 5, you might as well just make Angelica. Ib provides some really cool combo stuff like that, but it's, again, it's just, it makes you search out, you get the crazy searches too. You can search out Succession, which is a free monster reborn. And then you can summon a level 4 warrior from the deck, but you're playing Succession and the warrior. We don't really have a good link 2 to make anymore unless you're just freely thrown off into something else. If we had access to Isolde, man, I actually think Ib would be better because you could make Isolde, make Ib, activate the Succession to a zone that Isolde points to, do some combo shenanigans, make SP if you want to, summon out the level 4 from the deck, and then you get into like further things like that way. But I just think that Ib is not, I don't think Ib's the way. I think Ib is cool, but I think we already have a level 5 that does everything for us, and it's not like we have the ability to fully use it. Like I said, if we had access to Isolde still, or a good Link 2, like if they would have gave us a Link 2 with the Flame Swordsman stuff that was really good, then I would say yes, because then you could just literally go, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, maybe that's one thing we'll do something. No, not really playing any games, just discussing some combos and stuff like that. I thought I'd hop on stream for an hour, 2 hours or so, and just discuss and showcase and the Flame Swordsman stuff, and showcase putting the 2 engines that playing the engine that I play currently versus it, because like I'm very methodical when it comes down to picking my engines and stuff like that, and it's not a good thing because sometimes like I hyper focus on like little things that don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like the things I focus on, like they have a point, right? Like 1-card combo, that's a point, but you don't have to be like have a 1-card combo to be good. We've seen that happen multiple times. Like Sword Soul was literally a menace when it first came out, and it was a 2-card combo deck. So like you don't need to have like a 1-card combo, but sometimes I hyper fixate on that like factor when it comes to this deck. So just discussing different builds and like showcasing like different scenarios and stuff like that. Because like 100% Angelica is the choke point of the deck, and the deck has got to be able to play past Angelica getting hit. I've told all my buddies, hit Angelica. Man, you can tell your friends 100 times, hit Angelica, hit Angelica, hit Angelica, and they'll still ash the first thing you damn do. And you're just like, what are you doing? But, I mean, like, even if we wrap up, we do some quick hands here. Like, this is probably going to be a bad hand. Well, I mean, that's not going to be terrible. Okay. So, let's do it. Let's run it. Right? Like, that's what we're supposed to be doing. If this was any way to Flame Swordsman, right? So you technically have 9 cards that could be the Flame Swordsman, or 6 cards that could be the Flame Swordsman. Because if we're playing the second engine, this right here could be the I'm losing my train of thought. This could be the Fighting Flame Spirit or the Flame Swordsman, right? But it also could be a trap. It could also be the other cards you don't want to see as well. So playing it in that sense, if this happens to be any of those other cards, this hand's kind of really, really bad. Unless this happens to be the one Salamander Fusion, then you got Angelic access here. But there's a Princess fix that completely or partially. I don't even think it fixes it partially. I think you should rather test in games instead of... Well, my man, some I do test in games. And that's why I am very stern with my opinion of tuning and the Revolution package. Revolution, the Battle and Boxer package. Because in my experience with it, I've got whacked. So I've actually thought about that if you could play just both, because that right there would be really insane. But you don't have the ability to reoccur a level 4 body to make Angelica with the package, and also there's something else. Your package is so huge with the Flame Swordsman, it takes like 8 cards. So like you really got to do some squeezing. You got to cut down on some non-engine or some names to be able to play it. If you want to play 40, like by honest means, you could probably play 50 cards and you'd be fine. But so like in this scenario here, it could be, if this right here is literally any of your 6 ways to the Flame Swordsman, you're good. You actually probably got an insane board simply because you can just normal summon Flame Swordsman, grab something, Oliver, pitch the Fire Warrior, get a search, make Angelica, chain block Angelica, get access to a trap, do your standard Infernoble lines there. But with this hand here, I actually don't know if we get somewhere. So we're going to try it here. So this actually might be one of those things that vouch for, that like showcase like it's better. Right? So we go here, tuning, here we'll mill. So we go here, mill, hit rogue gear. So that might actually matter. That actually matters quite a bit, actually. So again, that's just how tuning can be. We can go here into Revolution. You get access to Durandal. Well, actually, does it matter? Yeah, it matters. It matters. So we go Durandal effect. Yeah, actually, that was insanely important. If we did not mill that, I don't think we actually had the ability to... Well, maybe, let's see if we got to add this right here. So then we can actually go, I think, Oliver, pitch this, effect of this to attach here, Turpin to, Turpin to special. Then you can fire off this right here, milling a card, summoning, and then make Crystal, probably make Crystal Wing, 100% make Crystal Wing before you even move forward all this. And then you go here into Angelica, Chainlink 1, and then you go Chainlink 2, Malgus. If you really want to, you can shuffle back 1, 2, and 3 and get a draw. Otherwise, you're not going to get to use Malgus this turn. Infernoble Stun with 3 summon the Runic Infernoble. My man. Imagine if they gave us something like that. So we draw Chalice, which is actually pretty good. So as you can see, this is pay 12. We already used Durandal, so we can just grab... Oh, we haven't used Durandal. We haven't used Durandal, so that makes us even better. Durandal into Roland. Roland effect. Attach, banish. Goodness, do you just send Gearfried here? I think you just send Gearfried. You send Gearfried, summon out main deck Roland. And we already, so like, this is kind of nice, kind of crazy, actually. We can go Olive Ogier, attach. Museum effect to move forward, effect to send. Goodness, we already exhausted. We had to use the Turpin earlier, but we sent Ricardetto. I don't know if that's the correct line to do, but we're going to do it regardless. Fire off this. So we either can add the equip spell or we can have Renaud. But what does Renaud really get us? We grab Renaud, and we don't have a way to bring. Yeah, so I don't think Renaud just be hanging out there, and we have no way to get that. So I think we just go ahead and grab our Almus. Equipped, link, chain 1, chain 2, grab back Gearfried, and attach, banish the summon, in phase, Angelica comes back, and then Roland grabs us, ring, Charles effect in phase equipped, and then we get to equip the Oliver from the deck if we want to. What's your ratio for the Revolution package? I play 3 tuning and 1 powered Revolution Synchron just for like the. I use that as like this the old E-Telly type of thing. You play 3 E-Telly and the 1 target. Droll is a pain in the butt, and if you start losing to Droll, you could definitely play like 3 revs if you wanted to. Went and grab Renaud there, lets you turn gear into. Oh yeah, so technically yeah, if you value, yeah, you actually could. It'd give you Baron, so then. The only difference in the board is like this gets put back. Do this, and then you banish a different equip spell, which is right here. And then you make Baron. And then I like, yeah, good thing. Thank you. That's actually pretty good. Museum to Almus, then Renaud for double Charlemagne. You have to use the you have to use the first museum to bring up the Ogier early. Because we had to exhaust Turpin early in the turn to even get to this point. But, I mean, it's still, deck's crazy, guys. Like, Rev works too well in the deck, and we did that entirely protected by this right here. We had 2 hand traps, so it didn't matter. But if we did eat Imperm, I'd have to run back and see, like, what it actually kind of does. But for the most part, it put them on have 2 hand traps. It had put them on have 3 hand traps, actually. Because they'd have to, Crystal would negate 1, call by another one, they'd have to have 3 hand traps, and at that point, would we have been able to get to where we were? Probably. So this inboard is 3, 4, 5, 6 disruptions, 7 if you count, I'm not going to count call by, but I always count the hand traps, but 7 disruptions. And then during, of course, the next turn, you can bounce this back, summon back Gearfried, which this card goes, Gearfried goes great going second. That's also something I wanted to bring up. People argue that, the Flame Swordsman stuff give this deck like a better going second, which it does. Always does. But I don't feel like it's necessary because right now we have like a 4,500 boss monster, 3,000, 3,000. Gearfried comes back. This guy gets bigger. Like we end up having just a huge enough monsters that it doesn't seem like an 8,000 monster is really that necessary. What you're saying is Imperm always kills Angelica no matter what. Sadly, there is just no way I believe we can dodge Imperm with Angelica. I just don't think there is. I think that it does. I don't think there's any way we can beat it. I was really excited because I thought the Fighting Flame Sword Spirit did. I thought it beat it, but it doesn't. The only thing we can do, I think Imperm, we just lose to or hope the opponent misuses. But I think that's something we should always just expect, is that we struggle with Imperm. As I showed previously in the stream, Imperm Angelica, if you have decent cards in your hand, you can just play through it. You can still get to like a decent, an okay board without, with Angelica not being able to resolve. But you'll have those hands, man, where Angelica has to resolve again, and it gets Imperm. There's nothing we can do. But that's the entire point of playing Ogier and Renaud at, in my opinion, at higher counts than just 1. So that you have multiple avenues. I did the math a while back too to showcase like thing. It's like an 88% chance of opening either Ogier or really the Revolution lines. It's like 88% chance. So it's like my combo will all have it. Will 88% all the time be protected from monster hand traps, right? So then it just comes down to, like I was trying to bring up, is that you have to. That's why I enjoy 1 and 2 card combos. So then when Angelica gets hit, if I do the 1-card combo and I'm not able to protect her, I have 4 cards in my hand that help me push through Angelica getting hit, and vice versa. That is, yeah. So actually, you are correct. There is a way to, if you have access to Oliver early on, you haven't, like, that is a way to do it. You have to, you know, it's very, I don't want to say like it's out there, but it kind of is. Like, you have to have like 3-card, 4-card, maybe something. But you just got to get Oliver attached to her, then have another way to trigger her, and then, yeah, you beat Imperm. But that's kind of like, that's hard to do. I don't think there's like a real consistent way to do it unless you're throwing in, like I said, like into the realm of 3- and 4-card combos. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Now, I mean, you love when you, I've had it happen once or twice. You make Angelica use her effect to add the field spell, and then they end up chaining Imperm, so then you just chain her effect to dodge. And she tags on out, you dump, summon, roll, and get the field spell, and they're just waste their Imperm. But as the deck got better and people started to understand it, even now I shouldn't say that, because now some people still don't understand it. They start understanding Angelica is you hit when you use the second effect. But hopefully I should be getting my rig here soon, my like chest rig. So I'll be like doing like point of view duels at locals, hopefully this weekend. So we'll be able just to showcase a little bit more like in a live setting, because I know someone brought up earlier in chat, Slim. There we go. Slim brought up earlier in chat that I should do it. So that'll be, let me show you guys. Love your work, man, and the dedication. Like, thanks, my man. There's not really, I'd have to say I couldn't put on my fingers. There's never really a time when you have a niche hobby like Yu-Gi-Oh! And they print you a card that shares the same name as you, but also in like a lore and artwork and theme that you also enjoy. So, yeah, we'll go ahead. I got time for one more. We'll run through one more. We'll run through one more, and if we open any of the second in, like the Battle and Boxer and or the stuff, we'll throw in the Flame Swordsman stuff. Because that's so there we go. So there we go, Uppercut, Renaud, Museum, Double Museum, that's crazy. Effect there. So we'll put this out and we'll just put in, there we go. We'll just play with like these cards over here on the side, and we'll just pretend like they don't exist. So this is our hand. Normal effect, we'll grab the Realm. I believe Realm, yeah, we have, what am I doing? I know, grab Realm. We can activate Realm, I guess it doesn't really matter if we activate Realm or not. We can go Durandal. Museum is peak card isn't even real. It's crazy. This is a custom card, really. We can go Museum because I want to get max potential out of Renaud. So Museum, grab Durandal, go Durandal instead of Angelo's Rings. Why not play Flame Veil Counter? So that's a very interesting question, but let me see if I can answer this correctly. Because it's searchable off Uppercutter, but you want Uppercutter to be a 1-card combo to get you to spar. And in hands that you get the access to Uppercutter, you lose access to Angelica's Angel Ring. But something that the combo sequence does that gives you access to Angel Ring is produce your combo to get to Angelica, whereas you don't get access because you lose the body if you grab the Flame Veil Counter. So Ogier plus Durandal makes Gearfried, Ultimate Swordsman, and a Promethean Princess, so it's definitely OTKs. Yeah, changing the line can possibly slide a Charles on board, but his Uppercut is... that's crazy. Doesn't Hida summon the opponent's graveyard? I believe Hida... I thought they summoned from either or, but I truly could not tell you. Let's see here if we can find out here. Let's see here. Ah, in your opponent's graveyard. Okay. Yeah, so you have to... Yep, you are correct. Pitch. So, okay, so you want to do that route. Okay, so let's try that route. So, Durandal, add Ogier. Because, okay, yep, because we already have access to... we already have access to Renaud, so to go here. So then we can special Renaud. Go here for Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Chainlink 2, we send this. Grab our third copy of the field spell. Salamandria effect to go ahead and add us. Do we add the fusion or do we add the trap? We'll have fusion for now. For now, we shall add the fusion. Effective Ogier. Oh, no, let's not do that yet. Let's use Salamandra effect to attempt to attach. Chain effect to send Turpin. Yeah, this hand's actually quite... I think this hand's actually quite nutty. Because of all that we opened here. So we get to go into Roland. We can go Flame SWORDSREALM now. Pitch. To summon. Effect to attach. Effect of this to move forward. Effect of this to send. You can send Gearfried here. We can then synchro into Charles. Use the second field spell that we opened that we didn't even search to go ahead and grab Almus. We can equip Almus to Charles. Link off into big old Charles. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Grab Gearfried. Museum's effect to move forward. Equip Roland. And then we can make a second Charles. And then attach. Then we can go here. Sack this off for the big flame swordsman. Gearfried. Oh, actually, I'll keep the fusion because I think fusion provides a lot more than... Go here. So this is the end board with that right there. We could go even further if we really wanted to, but I don't see no need to. In phase, Charles picks up fusion because that's actually kind of cracked. We haven't even exhausted. Wow, we could just do a lot. You just do a lot. With this particular hand, you could do a lot. Kind of crazy, man. Kind of like crazy. Like I said before, I don't think this stuff's bad at all. I think this stuff just requires it requires like dedicated spots and stuff like that that just you as a player have to decide if it's worth it. But I think we'll wrap up the stream, guys. We'll call it for the day. Hopefully I'll start streaming a little bit more, and we might be able to, I don't know yet, but we might be able to point of view, live stream the point of views. I don't know yet if that'll be possible, but it'd be kind of cool if it was, right? So we'll just have to see and let you guys know. But thank you guys for watching. Please remember, and comment down below all the stuff that you get, all the combos and stuff that you figured out, because I enjoy seeing them. I enjoy looking into them because, like I said, this is my favorite deck. So yeah, thank you, my man Michael. Thank you guys for coming in. Hopefully we'll stream this, like I said, this next coming weekend and stuff like that. I'll be able to bring you guys some live footage and stuff like that, some plays and play testing and stuff. But other than that, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. This is Charles from Team COG, signing out.